Recently I made a video about being human and some of my thoughts about that. And I made actually another video, which I haven't published yet, about being human either. But I guess this is my third being human video. I would like to say that we are humans, and I would really love to see all of the labels go away with the black and the white and the, race and gender and all of that stuff. And I wish people would kind of get past that. I don't really get it. I mean, obviously we all have different experiences based on them, and we can identify with these things, but essentially they are not you. And I was your race is not you. It is your experience on the earth when you live in a place that is racist, but you are not the body. I am not the body. Our spark of life, our inner being, our essence, our fundamental beingness does not have a gender. It doesn't have a race. It doesn't have a class. And when we take these various aspects that we identify with and that other people identify us with, we make less, I believe, of who and what we really are. And most of this kind of identity and behavior and various things, it happens through conditioning and socialization, and a lot of it is learned behavior. For me, I think learned behavior really can affect people really negatively in some ways when you learn to dislike somebody or not appreciate them or not even try to understand them because they're somehow different than you. But I would just like to also say it's one thing when you're 10 years old and you live in a family where they are hating a certain group of people and you learn about that. And then it's another thing when you are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and up. When you are able to form your own, you're always forming your own opinions too, but you're less likely to be influenced by your family. I think once you hit a certain age, then there's a time where, okay, now you're responsible for your thoughts. You're developed enough at 16 years old to be a free thinker and to come up with your own ideas about how the world is. And I just don't understand. So even if you are influenced by people who are hating when you're younger, maybe you don't really understand what that really truly means when you're 10 years old. But when you're 16 years old, you've lived enough to know. So you don't have to fall into the patterns of hate. Honestly, when you're 10, you don't have to fall into them either. But, I think it's a little bit harder when you're younger if you're constantly surrounded by that. I can excuse it. I'll just say, maybe you won't believe that and you're gonna fight against that too when you're 10. But I think that this whole identity, this nationality, this race, this class, everything, it's just gotta go away. It's not gonna go away because that's how we're living on this earth. But it's gotta go out of our minds when we're dealing with each other, when we are having our experience of being human on a planet. There's so many important issues to address and so many things that we should be worrying about, and not worrying about being a skin color. Anyway, that is just what I wanted to say. We are not the body. That always just comes to mind. And I can even, just a little story, when I was a girl, at the age of, I believe I was 10 the first year that I went to sleepaway camp. I might have been, either 9 or 10 years old. And I went for 2 weeks, and I really liked it a lot. I loved camp. It was wonderful. There was the woods and nature and swimming and canoeing and lakes and just being in the fresh air. Being away from my family was very important to me, even as a young girl. I loved the feeling of freedom, of making new friends every year. and many friends that would return every year. It was a really great experience. And I remember very specifically my tent mates. The way that it happened at our camp, it's a very free-spirited camp in many ways. Everyone who was going to be assigned to that particular area of tents met in the center. And this was an all-girls camp. There were no boys there. There were other boys' camps on the lake, but they weren't with us. So, all of the girls were there in the center, and we just matched ourselves up with people that we wanted to share a tent with. And we matched all of ourselves up. And then I was actually getting all set up in my tent. And then the counselors wanted to remove me from my tent and didn't want me to share the tent because I went with all the black girls. I was the only white girl in my tent. So they forced me to change to be with white girls. I don't know. Was it a good decision? I'll never know. I was having fun with my tent mates. I didn't really care that anybody was any color. I didn't even really notice that it was a thing until the counselors made it a thing and forced me to have fellow campers that were white. They segregated me. Anyway, so I would just like to say that I don't think, adults don't always have your best interests at heart. They think they're doing you a service, but they're not. So, ugh.